All right, guys. Now we're going to start. Yesterday we actually skipped lesson four. But lesson four was, even for me, was a very difficult lesson. So we skipped that. We're going to go to lesson five. That way we can just move right into the actual multiplying of the decimals. So what we have here again is the essential question: how is multiplying and dividing decimals similar to multiplying and dividing whole numbers? All right. So the pages that you guys will be using today is 403 to 408. Make sure you do not tear out the check my progress, which is right after this. I do not tear that out, but all you need is 403 to 408. Put your name on it as you always do, and then put your staple, which I have my staple. Make sure you staple before you turn it in. So give you guys a little bit of time to take those out. Okay, so this is a peanut, and it says I am nuts about decimals. I guess they only use the picture because the story here talks about peanuts. So that's kind of weird. But Nina is buying peanuts in bulk. All right, so she's buying peanuts in bulk. The peanuts cost 75 cents for each pound, which is cheap, by the way. She purchased 2.1 pounds of peanuts. How much will Nina pay round to the nearest cent? So the problem that we have is right here. It is find 75 cents times 2.1 because that's pounds. And it's like this if you go to any store and they charge hamburger, they charge by the pound, they charge lunch meat by the pound, they charge a lot of things by the pound. And so we're taking 75 cents times 2.1. That's something in my throat. And so it says estimate. So what they're doing here is they're basically taking like this to the nearest, probably the nearest dollar, I would say $1 times, take it to the nearest pound, which is 2. So you're going to have roughly right there, she'll pay roughly $2 for the peanuts, give or take. So we're gonna actually do the multiplication here, multiply as with whole numbers that you would normally do like this. Now remember what I said yesterday, that you do not have to line up the decimals. Notice how they're not lined up here. There's one here and there's one here, right? They're not lined up because you don't have to do that because we'll mess with that later. All right, we'll mess with that later. All right, so we will just stack the numbers. Again, I said the one that had the most digits you put on top. The ones that has the fewest digits, what's on this one is 2.1. You put on the bottom, and you just stack the numbers. You do not line up the decimal points. Sometimes they might line up, but in this sense, it won't. So then we just multiply. We say, well, 5 times 1 is 5. 7 times 1 is 7. And then 1 times 0 is 0. So you don't really have to put the 0 there. Since we're done with this, we're going to put a 0 here. And now we do 5 times 2, which is 10. We put the 0 there, and we carry the 1. And then we have 7 times 2 is 14. 14 plus 1 is 15. Carry the 1. 0 times 2 is 0, plus that is 1. And now we just add, like so, 1. Now, to figure out, normally our answer would look like this. Okay, you're not going to have a decimal right there for you. And what you have to do is, like it says, you have to count the decimal places. So with the lines, I'd say 1, 2. But look, we got one here also. So we'd say 1, 2, 3 this time. You count all of them. So you just say 1, 2, 3, and you put your decimal right there. Okay, and then it says here round to the nearest cent. Well, you know that unless you're buying gasoline, you can't do a half of a penny. So you're going to round this penny up. So you're going to say, well, that $1.575, or you're going to round this up to $1.58 because that's to the nearest penny, $1.50. So she'll pay $1.58, and $2, as we saw that we had up here, is pretty close to $1.58. All right. So again, a lot like what we did yesterday, but this time you're going to have extra decimals, just a couple extra spaces, but you got to count the top and the bottom decimals, and it's fairly simple. And I think you guys will catch on fairly easy. DeMarcus is buying a new guitar pick that costs 50 cents. The sales tax is found by multiplying the cost of the guitar pick by that number there, which is 600ths. So what's the total? What is the cost of the sales tax for the pick? So we're taking 50 cents times 600ths. And they want you to round these, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to round the 50 cents, which is closer to $1, and of course this is closer to zero. So again, the estimate of zero. They do that because you'll see when you get the final answer that it's going to be closer to $0 than it will actually be $1. Kind of pointless in that sense, but that way you just know you're going the right direction. If you got something way outlandish, that's why you do that. So we stack them, and as I said before, we have 1, 2, 3 three numerals up there, and then we have 3 here. So it doesn't really matter which top or bottom that you put these in. It doesn't really matter. So because there's 3, and notice how they do line up this time. Again, you don't just drop it like you did with adding. You have to add them up here and then move them over. So here we're going to have 0, and then we have, this is 30. We put the 3 up here, and then we have 0, 3. Okay, so we have 3. To multiply, you can see that these are all going to be zeros right here. Okay, because these 2 are zeros, so all these answers are going to be zeros. Because if we were to do this, we would have to put like 0, take that out. But then we're going to have 1, 2, 3 zeros, right? And then we take this out. We got to come down here and put 2 zeros, which has been a while since you've had to do that kind of multiplication. But then you have another 0, 3 zeros, so you got to put 0, 0, 0. So, and in essence, you're going to have, for your answer, you're going to have 0, 0, 3. There's nothing here, so there's 0, 0. A lot of zeros, right? But like they said, you got to count your spaces. So we look at the top 1, 2, and then we look down here 3, 4. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we put our decimal point right there. So 50 or 50 cents times 0.06 or 600ths is going to be 0.0300. Well, if we're talking about money, we don't need these right there, do you? So you just say that the sales tax is going to be 3 cents, 0.3. And as you can see, that's pretty close to the 0 that we had up there. 3 cents is a lot closer than $1. So that's kind of why we did the estimate up there. But this right here, hopefully we don't have too many of those to worry about in our assignment today. So down here, again, we have 2 digits, so we're just going to stack them. We're going to say 0.6 times 0.8. Boom, like so. Okay, that's all you got to do. And then we say, well, this is 48. Carry the 4. That's going to be 4 right there, right? Because 0 times 8 is 0. That's going to be 4. We use that 8 up. We're going to put a 0 down here. 0, 0. So 0, 0. We add these up. We're going to get 8, 4, 0, right? And now we got to count our decimal places. We have 1 and then 1 there. So that's 2. So 1, 2. So we're going to put our answer is 0.48. And this one would have been easier if we would have just said 0.6 times 0.8, because that's the exact same thing. We just had to use the zeros, and we wouldn't have to do all that extra multiplying right here. Because we could just say, well, 6 times 8 is 48, right? And then there's 1, 2. Well, 1, 2, and we just would have put it there. It's the same thing. Right here, 1.7. 1.7. Sorry, I had my cat right in front of the screen. 2.4. Okay. So we do the multiplication here. Again, notice how they do line up here, but that doesn't matter. We're not dropping it like we do with, we only did that with adding and subtracting. So we have 7 times 4 is 28. Put the 8 down there, carry the 2. This is 4, that's 6. We got rid of that guy, we got rid of that guy, we're going to put a 0 there. 7 times 2 is 14. Carry the 1 now. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. Add those together. We're going to get 8, 10, 4. And we're going to say, well, here's one place value, 2 place values to get to the decimal. So we're going to say 1, 2, that's where that's going to go. So this one's going to go 4 and 8/100ths. And then the last one on this page, we're going to try to write smaller here. We're going to say 3.8 times 0.9. I'm just going to do it that way. I'm going to leave the 0 out just to show you. 8 times 9 is 72. Put the 2 there, carry the 7. 9 times 3 is 27. 27 plus 7 is 34. So we have one place value here, 1 here. Add those together, you get 2. So 1, 2. So our answer is going to be 3.42 is our answer. Talk math. Describe a multiplication problem in which the product is between that and that. Well, you could easily say that you could say 1 times, let's see, number between that. You could take it basically by anything. You say 0.25 if you wanted to, because you would say 0.25 times 1. Well, that equals 5 and 2. There's 2 place values here, 1 and 2. Well, guess what? 0.25 is between that and 1, right? So really, you just take that times any decimal times 1. It's going to give you a number in between that. All right, let's look at our independent practice. Independent practice. Let's get down closer to it here now. Okay, so these are already lined up for you. All right, we have 0.96 or 9600ths times 7 and 1/10. So these are easy. So we say 6 times 1 is 6. That's 9. 1 times 0 is 0. We use that guy up and put a 0 down there. Now we have 6 times 7 is 42. Put the 2 down there. Carry the 4. 9 times 7 is 63. 63 plus 4 is 67. Carry the 6 up here. 7 times 0 is 0. Plus 6 is 6. Add them together. We're going to get 6. That's going to be 11. That's going to be 8 and 6. So we go up here and we say 1, 2 to get that decimal. And then 1 here to get to that decimal. You add those together, you get 3. So 1, 2, 3. Our answer is 6 and 816 thousandths. Next one, 3 and 6500ths times 2 and 6/10. So we have 5 times 6 is 30. Put the 3 up here. So 6 times 6 is 36 plus 3 is 39. Put the 3 up here. So we have 6 times 3 is 18. 18 plus 3 is 21. So we use this 0. So we're going to put a 0 down here. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. So we have 5 times 2 is 10. Put the 1 up here. 2 times 6 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. Put the 1 up here. 2 times 3 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. So it's going to go right here. And we're going to add. So 0 plus 0 is 0. This is 9. 3 plus 1 is 4. 2 plus 7 is 9. And we're going to look right here and we're going to say, well, there's 2 place values there. There's 1 here. 2 plus 1 is 3. 1, 2, 3. Put it right there. So we have 9 and 490 thousandths. This next one, not too bad. A lot of zeros up here. So notice again, the decimals are not lined up, which is perfectly fine because we're going to count them. And on multiplication, you'll see on division, it's kind of the same thing. So we have 7 times 2 is 14. Carry the 1. 2 times 0, 0, add the 1. 2 times 0, 0. Put a 0 down there because we get rid of these guys right here. 7 times 5 is 35. Put the 3 up here. 5 times 0 is 0, plus 3 is 3. 5 times 0 is 0. It's important that you do that last 0 because that is a place value. Okay, don't skip just because like, oh, it's a 0, I don't have to. Yeah, don't skip it. You have to do that. Add them. 4, 6, 3, 0. Again, you gotta add that 0 in there. Again, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So our answer is 364 thousandths. Okay. Do a few more here, and then we'll let you guys do the rest of these because really it's just multiplication. You just need to make sure that you are moving the decimal places over like you're supposed to. All right, so we have 8 times 8, which is 64. 6 up here. 8 times 7 is 56. 56 plus 6 is 62. Carry the 6. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 plus 6 is 22. We're going to get rid of these guys here. Put a 0 down there. And now we just have this. Look, it's all zeros. 3 zeros, right? So 0, 0, 0. Add them together. We can get 4, 2, 2, 2. And then we say 1, 2, and then we have 1 here, 3. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3. So we have 2 and 224 thousandths. This one right here, 5 times 5. Now this one here, as you can see, we have a bottom layer of numbers right here. This is where I would not do the zeros. I'd take those on out. And you can do that because as long as, we couldn't just take away the 2 and a 0 here, but since there's 2, we can just take those out and just do this problem here. All right. We can still count the decimal places. It will still be accurate. We just didn't need those zeros on there. So we're going to do 5 times 5, which is 25. Put the 2 up here. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 is 17. Take away this 5, take away this 2, put a 0 down below. 5 times 1 is 5. 3 times 1 is 3. And then we say 5. This is going to be a 5. This is going to be a 12. That's a 4, plus 1 is 5. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now look, we only have 3 numbers here. So this is, where we didn't do the 0 before, we kind of shorted ourselves to make this easier on ourselves, but we need to know that the empty space, we're going to put a 0 in. So there's 4 places, so we need to do 1, 2, 3, 4. The decimal is going to go there. So what do you think is going to go right here? A 0, yeah. So you're going to put a 0 in place of that. And that's just the zeros that you took away up there. So your answer is going to be 525 ten thousandths. Okay, 10 thousandths. And then this one right here, we have 4 times 4 is 16. Carry the 1. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. We got rid of the 4, get rid of that, put a 0 down there. 4 times 6 is 24. Carry the 2. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. And then 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19. And then we add those up. 6, 9 plus 4 is 13. 6, 7. Looks like that's going to be a 10. And this is going to be a 2. So we have 1, 2, 3. So we say 1, 2, 3. We put it right here. So 20 and 736 thousandths. All right, so you can try the rest of these on your own. All right, you need to make sure you do numbers 10, 11, and 12. Again, stack them like we did before. It doesn't matter if the decimals are lined up or not. Let's just do this one right here, just for you. So we're going to say 0.9 times 0.3. Remember what I said earlier? We can take these away and just do, what's 9 times 3? It's 27, right? And then how many place values? We have 1, 2. Well, guess what? 1, 2. We can just do it that way. Throw a 0 there. 27 hundredths. All right. That one's a fairly easy one to be able to do. So you guys can finish these on your own. All these are asking for down here is stack them just like you did up here. The B is literally just the answer. Okay, just the answer. So I'll be looking for that. Word problems are about the same here. We have a nutrition label says that one serving out of a bag of chips is 3 7/10 grams of fat. How many grams of fat are in 2.5? So you're just basically taking over here 3.7 times 2.5. Okay, you're just taking that. And then we get 7 times 5 is 35. Carry the 3. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 3 is 18. Take away that, put the 0 in place of it. 7 times 2 is 14. Carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. Add them together. You're going to get 5. 8 plus 4 is 12. And this is 9. Place 1, 2. So we're going to say 1, 2, 9. So it's going to be 9.25 grams of fat. Again, that's how I label it, right? We got to label our work. Apples cost 98 cents per pound. How much would it cost to purchase 5.5 pounds? All right, we'll come over here. We say, now notice there's 3 digits here, and then there's 2 digits here, right? So you say 0.98 times 5.5. Notice I didn't line up my decimal places. So we say 8 times 5 is 40. Carry the 4. 5 times 9 is 45. 45 plus 4 is 49. Put the 9 down here, carry the 4. 5 times 0 is 0. Add that, you have a 4. Get rid of these guys because we used them up already. And now we just have these problems here. 8 times 5 is 40. Carry the 4. Again, we're doing the same problem as you can see here. 45, that's 49. Carry the 4, and then that's 0. Add the 4. 4. Add these guys up. 0, 9, 13, 5. And then we have 1, 2, 3 place values. So 1, 2, 3. So $5.39. Because it's talking about money. It says how much would it cost? Well, you don't have that on the end of money, do you? So you just say $5.39. Number 18. The average honeybee can travel 10 and 5/10 feet per second. How many feet can it travel in 3.7 seconds? So, I mean, on this one they line up, but it doesn't matter again if they line up. Remember? So we take, this is 35, 7 times 0, 0. That's a 3. That's a 7. We get rid of this guy, get rid of this guy, put a 0 down there. This is 5 times 3 is 15. That's 0. Add the 1. 3 times 1 is 3. Add them together. We get 5, 8, 8, 3. Place values, we just have 2 this time. So we say 1, 2, 38 and 85 hundredths. And it says how far, how many feet. So it's going to be feet. Can it travel? So it's going to travel 38 feet in 3.7 seconds, which is really fast. And the last one, Jocelyn's swimming pool is shown. Find the area. And if you know area, you do area equals length times width. So we're going to be taking that times that. And you guys can do that, I believe, on your own as well. Let's just do it here. So we have, I need a place here. So we have, let's do it right here. 14.75 because it has 4 digits. This one here only has 2. Make sure I have my decimals in there. Okay, so that's that. So 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 7 times 5 is 35 plus 2 is 37. 5 times 4 is 20 plus 3 is 23. Carry the 2. 5 times 1 is 5. Boom. We use that up. We use that up. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. All right. And then we put a 0 down there. Again, 7 times 5 is 35. Carry the 3. 7 times 7 is 49 plus 3 is 52. Um, carry the my cat got on my cord there. I got lost where my cat stepped in my cord. So this is 5. Here the 349. That's 52. So put the 5 up here. There we go. 7 times 3 is 28. 28 plus 3. 5 is 33. Carry the 3. And then we have 7 times 1 is 7. Add that. It's going to be a 10. So I'm squeezing a lot of numbers in right there. So this is going to be a 5, 12. This is 5. This is 6. This is 10. 1, 1. So we have 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3 place values. So 1, 2, 3. So it looks to me like the area of the swimming pool is 110 and 625 thousandths feet squared. All right, that's what you get. Oops, can't see it. So um, there's your answer there. Put over there. And you guys ask every day. I don't do these problems right here, so you guys can cross those out. Hot problems, I ain't gonna mess with those. All right, guys. So your homework, of course, will be the rest of here on page 405. Those 5 problems for practice. Okay, those 5 problems. Don't forget those. And then you have um, these problems for extra practice as well. All right. And then on the back side, you have some more. Those are pretty self-explanatory. Here, again, you take the numbers and you multiply them. Not too hard. Okay. Um, make sure none of these are. Okay, this one here, you want to make sure that you round to the nearest cent. Okay, round to the nearest cent. And so the rest, I mean, it's fairly easy. And over here, you're going to use these pictures over here to answer those questions there. Okay, so it looks like you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 problems to do for homework tonight. And they're not that difficult really, so you should do fine with those. So good luck on that. If you have any problems, any questions, raise your hand and I will come along, or Miss Lisa, if she's in the room, she'll come along and help you as well. And remember, when you're done, name on it and staple it. Good luck, guys.